If you think the AI revolution is some far-off event on the horizon, you're already behind. It's not a distant tremor, it's the earthquake that's happening right now, under our feet, and it is completely reshaping the entire tech and business landscape as we speak. Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech. In this explainer, we're going to journey to the epicenters of this massive AI quake. We're going to see how competition, corporate strategy, and even the physical infrastructure of our world are being redrawn in real time. So let's dive in. So our journey is going to take us through 5 key battlegrounds. We'll kick things off with the new rules of competition, then we'll dive into the wild AI arms race for talent. From there, we'll uncover what's physically powering this whole thing, see how the established giants are fighting back, and finally, we'll try to figure out who's going to win this great reshuffle. Let's start with the battle for market dominance. Now, you probably saw the huge headlines about the antitrust ruling against Google. But here's the thing. While all the regulators and lawyers were wrapped up in that fight, the real competitive threat had already shifted from the courtroom to the cloud. You see, the court's decision was seen as this massive win for Google, basically preserving the old power structure on a scale that's just staggering. This ruling allows Google to keep paying Apple $20 billion a year just to be the default search engine. That's a huge sum of money that locks in a key piece of the status quo. So what was the crucial point here? The market basically just shrugged. This analyst quote just nails the sentiment. For 20 years, the playbook has been the same. These regulatory threats pop up, they create some fear, but they rarely lead to any real fundamental changes. That makes them prime buying opportunities for investors. The real game is happening somewhere else. And this really shows you the fundamental shift. Even the judge in the Google case pointed out, saying that generative AI is already changing the market so dramatically that some heavy-handed ruling could actually hurt innovation. So yeah, yesterday's threat was regulation. Today's threat is pure AI disruption. And here they are, the agents of that disruption. You know, consumers aren't just automatically starting their searches on Google anymore. They're turning to these AI-native platforms like OpenAI, Perplexity, and U.com. And all that pressure is forcing the big guys like Google to innovate and, like one analyst put it, bring their game out just to stay on top. This whole new competitive landscape leads us right to our next epicenter. So all this new competitive pressure is fueling this absolutely frantic corporate arms race. Companies aren't just competing for customers anymore. They are in a desperate battle to acquire the 2 most critical assets in the AI era: the technology itself and, maybe even more important, the brilliant minds who actually build it. And this has completely rewritten the playbook for mergers and acquisitions. Take the security firm Cato Networks. Their CEO explained that this whole AI transformation is moving at an unprecedented rate. Trying to develop the security tools they need from scratch would just take years they don't have. Enterprises, he said, need it now. So the only real option is to acquire. It's a buy, don't build world. But it's not just about buying technology. It's about acquiring human talent. And that has kicked off a fierce talent war. We're seeing this massive migration of top minds, with even giants like Apple watching their key AI researchers get poached by aggressive rivals like Meta and OpenAI. And this isn't some small leak, it's a flood. One report said Apple is bleeding talent on a weekly basis. I mean, that just shows you that in today's environment, not even the world's most valuable companies are safe from having their top AI minds lured away. The demand for that kind of expertise is just that intense. Now, this whole digital arms race has a massive physical footprint. All this computation, all this data processing, it requires a truly astonishing amount of power. So the crucial question becomes, what does it actually take to power this revolution? AI models are trained on these unimaginable amounts of data, and data centers are really the factories of the 21st century. But what powers those factories? Well, this exponential growth in AI is creating an equally exponential demand for energy, and it's sparking a renaissance in foundational power technologies that a lot of people had pretty much written off. And just look at the sheer scale of what's needed. The US alone has an ambition to quadruple its nuclear capacity, from 100 gigawatts today to 400 gigawatts by 2050. Now, this isn't just some environmental goal, it's a direct response to the massive new energy demands from the tech industry, and it's creating a colossal market opportunity. So, who fills this need? Well, what's fascinating is how these legacy industrial giants are pivoting. Take Rolls-Royce. They're leveraging over 60 years of experience building nuclear reactors for submarines, and now they're pioneering these small modular reactors, or SMRs. Theirs is the largest on the market. And the genius of it is that 80% of it can be built in a factory, kind of like Lego blocks, which makes construction way faster and a lot less risky. And this is already happening. Rolls-Royce has confirmed they are in active conversations with the hyperscalers, the big cloud giants like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, to build dedicated nuclear power sources for their AI data centers. The digital revolution is literally being powered by a nuclear one. Okay, so we've seen new competitors, a tech arms race, and an energy revolution. All this disruption has investors pretty worried. The big question in the software world is whether the established enterprise giants think Salesforce can adapt, or if they're just going to get swept away by all these nimble new AI startups. But this whole narrative that the old guard is doomed, it might be wrong. As this analyst points out, a lot of investors assume it's a zero-sum game, that for every new AI winner, there has to be an incumbent loser. But the reality is way more nuanced. The established players who are moving quickly actually have some powerful, unique advantages in this new era. This is the key concept, incumbency advantage. Look, startups might have the flashy new tech, but the incumbents have deep roots. They have distribution through millions of existing customers. They own the data fabric and the core business logic of how these companies run. And crucially, they have trust. Enterprise AI can't just run off the rails. It has to be, as they say, accurate, secure, compliant, and trusted. And the big companies are already putting this playbook into practice. ServiceNow is leveraging its existing government relationships by offering huge discounts just to drive adoption of its new AI tools. Salesforce is securing massive new contracts, deploying its AI right on top of the platforms its customers already use and trust. They are absolutely fighting back, and they are using their size as a weapon. So let's bring this all together. We've seen this complete and total reshuffle rippling through every single layer of the industry, from competition and talent all the way to energy and enterprise strategy. The question now is, what does this new landscape actually look like? Okay, here are the crucial takeaways. Competition is no longer just about who has the biggest market share. It's about who has the best AI. In this frantic environment, the buy, don't build strategy is king. The war for talent is redefining corporate power. The insatiable energy demands of AI are creating entirely new markets for physical infrastructure. And finally, don't count the incumbents out. Their advantages give them a real fighting chance. All of this change leaves us with one final provocative thought. We are living through a period of creative destruction on a massive scale. As the dust settles from this great AI reshuffle, some are going to build the future, and some will inevitably become fossils of a bygone era. The question is, which will be which? If you enjoyed the episode, please like, comment, share, and subscribe.